You like Margot Robbie absolutely getting railed by, a man going through his goth phase. Boy, do I have the movie for you.
Absolute real. This is hilarious.
Hello and welcome to Cassette Take, where you can eject wherever you want, but please don't forget to rewind. I'm Ethan.
I'm Annmarie.
And Annmarie, what'd we just get out of seeing?
Wuthering Heights.
Wuthering, I don't know. I haven't read the book.
I've been mispronouncing it all week.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, right out of the gate,
We haven't read the book.
we have not read the book.
Please don't come for us.
Like many others come throughout this movie.
Ethan, we can't start off this way.
Oh, come on. I mean, yes. But no. I mean, this is exactly what the movie is, though. You go to this movie for smut, and this movie delivers smut.
Yes, a lot of it.
A lot of smut. So much smut that the old smut got tired, and they had to bring in more smut.
I think you described it perfectly. It was like someone reading like a 1800s book and then being like, oh, there's one set scene. Let's make a whole movie out of it, baby.
Yeah, so again, we haven't read the source material by Emily Brontë, and we were going into this basically blind, other than the fact that Margot Robbie and Jacob Elordi are in it, and that Charlie XCX does the soundtrack for it.
That was a big selling point, honestly, for like the trailers were like the new Charlie XCX song.
Yeah, so
Poor Ethan. I dragged him to this one. You guys, I know this is probably not on his top of his list, but he was a good sport.
Okay, to be fair, I will say this. Watching the trailers, especially in a theater, for this movie leading up to it, I was very impressed by the cinematography to the point where I'm like, you know what? I might go see this movie just for that. And I like Jacob Elordi and I like Margot Robbie. Charlie XCX isn't the biggest selling point for me. Her music's is good, but like, I'm not gonna go see a movie for Charlie XCX.
Oh man, we're gonna get those fans coming out of us now.
I want them coming out of it.
I mean, coming at us.
Anyway.
But the cinematography
Yes.
and the set designs, beautiful.
Yes, the production design and cinematography, that's all I wanted this movie to really deliver when I went to go see it in a theater. And boy, does this movie deliver in spades with that. Every single shot in this movie carries into the next with how beautiful and how perfectly blocked it is, how perfectly lit it is. I mean, shout out to the lighting team in this movie. Like, every single shot I was enamored by. I mean, the true love story here is between me and the cinematographer, because, like, my gosh, I could not get enough of the cinematography in this movie.
Honestly, can I also shout out the costume team? The dresses Margot Robbie were wearing were beautiful. And it kind of played into the cinematography as well, which I just thought, again, totally fantastic. Really a standout of this film.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the reasons that makes sense is Emerald Fennell is the director of this movie.
Mm-hmm.
And it does carry that same spirit about it in without giving anything away. There there
Say
is,
your joke.
I feel like for those who haven't read the book like me and who haven't seen Saltburn, I don't want to spoil too much. I'll make the joke towards the end of the review. But there's just a similar spirit from Saltburn, which Emerald had done, to this movie. And I'm just like, oh, that makes so much sense.
It connected, like the penny dropped.
Yes, there's a lot of connective tissue from that movie to this movie, down to even specifically what Jacob Elordi's character does in certain moments, or is involved in, rather, I should say.
Yes. Can we give a shout out to the younger actors who played Jacob and Margot Robbie? Because absolutely fantastic. I know one of them is Owen Cooper, who was in Adolescence last year.
Oh, really?
Yes, won a Emmy for it. Absolutely fantastic. The girl, I'm not sure her name, but I think one of the big selling parts was we totally bought that she would become older Margot Robbie in the story.
Oh, 100%. That's why I was so shocked by, like, just how both of them were able to portray, like, genuinely younger versions of their characters. Like, was easily convinced that was a younger Jacob Elordi. I was even more easily convinced that that was a young Margot Robbie. Down to the cadences, down to just the pitches. I mean, like, just how everything about their performances just was astounding with how well they were able to capture that. And it really just is unfortunate that this movie, with all it has going for, we're talking about all the positives right now.
Let's change it.
And like it just really decided to lean into the smut of it all. And which listen, for movies that there is a market for it. And I get it. There's an audience, there's a market, and good for those people. But when you are basing it on like a significant classic like Wuthering Heights, which again I have not read, so I can't say how much sex is involved and smut is involved or not. But from what I've been hearing from people who have read the books, that yeah, there's a little bit of a step up to say the least in smut quality.
But it's interesting because when this movie was promoting itself, right? When
Yes.
trailers were coming out, it really leaned heavily into it. But a lot of voices that I have heard are, we know this movie's not going to be good, which is so interesting because this movie curates itself to those people who are like, yeah, I want all the smut content. But then people know it's not going to be good either. So it's, what do you want?
Yeah, it's like you go to this specific movie of Wuthering Heights expecting a direct translation of the book, which there are already movies that were made in the past about that, like even down to I think the 1930s and early 2000s, I think. So if you want a little more, I guess, accurate translations to film, that those might be the way to go. Again, I don't know for sure. And I have no problem with someone trying to make their own version of something and not truly sticking to the source material. But I love it when someone is able to maintain the same spirit of the source material.
Which we both don't know about. That's the thing.
Exactly. That's why I wish, maybe I should have read the book beforehand, but I feel like it should be a Lord of the Rings situation, which is a tall ask, but I don't feel like surface level it is, where it's just able to carry the same spirit to the point where I would I should enjoy this regardless of having knowledge of the book. And the only reason why I did enjoy it as much as I did is the fact of the cinematography, of the acting, of the like everything we had just mentioned before. The story itself, the way it's written and pieced together structurally, just I don't think that within itself was interesting to me too much. I mean, it seems like a story that just I don't know, it just didn't really strike me as it felt more like Marty Supreme in that sense,
Mhm.
where this is so this is a straight up asshole, right? And we're watching him for a solid maybe 2.5 hours here doing asshole things to other people, but damn, do they look good doing it, and are they shot in a way where, like, everything around them looks good while they're doing it. So you can't look away, it's like watching a beautiful train wreck go down, and gosh, it just gives you really mixed feelings at the end of the day.
I can see Ethan's brain working in overdrive, everyone, right now. I don't think this needed to be as long as it is. This movie's 2 hours and 17 minutes. Cut it down under 2. You know what? I didn't need as much smut. Like, the love story itself was interesting to me, of these 2 people who, the red string theory, they're always gonna be tied together and always find their way back to each other, right? So, I didn't need the smut, but, that's how it is. I will say this film too, you re-edited it, and it's a horror film.
Oh, yeah.
Like, absolutely so creepy, down to like this mansion dollhouse. Like it was terrifying. The more I thought about it, I was like, did I did I watch the wrong trailer for
To be
this?
to be fair, I think that is kind of on brand for Emerald, like, especially if you've seen Saltburn and, Promising Young
Yes.
Woman. It's just got that feel to it where it could easily be turned around into a horror story, which, in essence, you could argue it is.
Yeah, yeah, in a like really effed up way.
Yeah,
Yes.
like, if you're equivalating tragedy and horror, which don't always align, but in this case, the way that's done, you could kind of argue there is that nuance, that gray area in between where it's blending and crossing over.
Yeah. I think it would be interesting to learn like if she was like a fan of it or who's the author again? Who wrote it?
Emily Brontë?
Emily Brontë, because Emily Brontë did an interview asking why there was quotation marks around the title. And she was saying that this was a version of the story because we've seen this story before. This isn't like something brand new basically. And so it's interesting that, and again, Ethan and I haven't read the book, so we don't know exactly. Maybe the book is very smutty. No idea. But the story took it in that direction exactly.
Now, are you talking about when you asked me who the writer was, were you talking about the writer of the book or the movie?
Oh, did I get it wrong?
Because Emily Brontë is the writer of the book.
Oh, I'm sorry. I think I meant the movie.
Yeah, no, I honestly did
Some
not remember the name.
Someone gave an interview talking about how is a adaptation of the story, which again kind of is a way like a Romeo and Juliet story where it's just these two loves who will always be connected. But I just find that kind of interesting that like they decided to take it in this way. And a part of me is like, well, book talk was really became popular in 2022, 2023, and I'm wondering if this kind of missed its era that was supposed to be in. I wonder if this would have done better when book talk kind of blew up.
I don't know. It was Emerald Brontë that also wrote the screenplay, by the way.
Perfect.
Which also, I guess makes sense again looking at Saltburn. Very a lot of parallels there. But, I get, wanting to tell your own story. And honestly, good for Emerald. I think that this movie delivers in telling a different iteration of that story, whatever the first story may have been, but I could kind of get a feel for the story beats of the book based on this. But yeah, it's just very a very interesting way of going about it where some of the focus lies. But I almost thought about midway through that it almost felt like when I'm reading, say, The Brothers Karamazov by Fyodor Dostoevsky, another 1800s classic piece of literature, and there's like love triangles and a lot of love situations going on throughout the movie or that book, and it's almost like taking that book where there's so much more to it than that and just having the main focus and main marketing be the love triangle aspect, even though that is more so it's a big portion of it, but it's not the main focus really of it all.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. Again, I'm not the audience necessarily for this type of movie, other than just wanting to watch a quality film, and I think this movie was made very tastefully in regards to how it was made and for what audience it was for. So I guess, I gotta give it credit where credit is due to that. For me personally, it's not maybe something I would go out my way to watch again, but definitely what I would do is I would take a lot of those shots that I saw in that movie and probably put it up on my wall. There's only select movies where I would take, select shots from a movie and just hang them up on my wall. And I think that Wuthering Heights from Emerald is just truly one, where I'm like, damn, I
Yeah.
want that on my wall yesterday.
You didn't love the Charlie XCX new song that was promoted a million times for this movie?
I mean, the music's good.
Did you not hear the new song?
Which was the news? I'm not familiar
I
enough
don't
to
I don't I don't know either. I have no idea, to be totally honest. I think it was the end credits song.
Was it the one that sounded like she's in love, but she's forbidden? And,
Wow,
like, that one?
nailed it.
Because there's a few of
There's
those.
a few of those in here. Yeah, you know what? Listen, of course, Ethan and I really don't like to come in and bash a film unless it deserves it, but we want to come in and say, yes, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, to be totally honest, because I went in with very low expectations. And overall, it's beautiful. Like, it really is a
Oh, yeah.
beautiful visual masterpiece, and so I just wish the story lived up to that.
Yeah, and, I found that I love seeing Jacob Elordi surrounded by Baroque Gothic architecture.
He's great,
It
like,
it's great, like and for some reason, he's able to find directors that love putting him in this great these great sets, like these nice houses that have, like, really fancy, nice architecture and, like, putting him in these Gothic arenas and venues, and I'm just like, "Man, is Jacob Elordi in his goth era or something? Because whether he is or not, he's just rocking it."
you know what? He does kinda give off that vibe, I will say.
This is kind of the joke I was gonna make later, but honestly, you could apply it to this too. But, if I had a nickel for every time Jacob Elordi was involved in a movie, which involved him being emotionally abused by someone he called family or a loved one, and it leading somewhere tragically, I'd have 3 nickels, and which isn't a lot, but, like, it's definitely interesting that's happened thrice within, like, 5 years.
And with, like, 2 of the same directors too.
Yeah, 2 of the 3 are the same
Who
director.
would have thought?
Oh, man, but, I I feel like at the end of the day, the reasons we weren't too appeased by this movie is just because I don't think we were the main audience for it.
It's the reason why other people will love this movie.
Yeah, and again, I don't know the source material, but from what I've been hearing from people that have read the book and saw this movie, they weren't too keen on it. I think there's
So
some that do appreciate, like, the filming of it, but yeah, they just can't get behind the stuff that kinda correlates to the source material,
mhm.
and, I can't charge them for that at all. So, all film, all literature, all storytelling is subjective to the viewer, so what else can you say about that?
Ye Oh, Ethan.
But if you like some darn good schmut and you like Margot Robbie absolutely getting railed by, a man going through his goth phase, boy, do I have the movie for you.
Absolute real, this is hilarious.
But at the end of the day, Anne-Marie, I think we gotta rate this thing.
Oh, absolutely.
And I gotta say, Anne-Marie, ask Anne-Marie, out of 10,
What are you gonna come up with this time? Please
man,
tell me.
out of 10 fish lodged in gelatin.
Oh, ew!
That was an interesting. I want to see how that was written in the book.
Why was that in the movie?
Something fishy going on around here.
Alright, everyone. You know what?
Oh my.
I think my score is gonna be really interesting because it has not been a good start to 2026. So I'm gonna put this higher than the other films. I'm giving this film a 7.
Mm.
Even though this film, again, did not work for me. I had so much fun laughing at it. I enjoyed it. I think it's visually beautiful, of course, and I think the acting is strong from both everyone, Jacob and Margot. And I will say, like, we didn't mention this. There's a scene where someone's looking out the window and then he turns his head, and I'm like, turn your head, idiot. Then you'll see what's going outside. And I just think it's hilarious. And so, again, I think people I think people will love it if you are a fan of the books. I think if you go in understanding this is an adaptation and it is different, it's not supposed to be beat for beat in any way. I think people will enjoy this film. I'll be interested in the box office, to be totally honest with you, but I'm giving it a 7.
I think you might be a little surprised by what I give it. So I will give it an 8
Wow.
because again, the everything else about this movie, from the cinematography to the direction to the acting to the production design of it all, the lighting, I was just floored by a lot of the shots throughout this movie that there was no reason why I should have cared about these characters, and like just I was really uninterested in their situation, to be honest. But how it was shot was just incredible, and I couldn't look away. It was like, wow, I do not care, but damn, is this beautifully being shown and told, like, just wow. Oh, could I have used less smut? Absolutely. I think a decent amount of us probably could have, unless you're into that kind of thing, but more power to you. But at the end of the day, I think for what it's worth, Emerald made a very well made film here.
Mhm.
Is it the best adaptation? I can't say myself, but damn, as a film itself, standing alone, it's pretty damn good
Mhm.
if you can get past a few things.
Mhm.
So, I gotta give it my respect. I gotta give it an 8 out of 10.
Did not think we were gonna add into this film giving it a 7 and 8, to be totally honest.
Yeah, no, if you were to ask me, like, immediately once the credits started rolling, I'd probably be like a 6 or 7. But, like,
It grew.
again, we cut for a lot of these reviews, not all of them, but a lot of them. Sometimes we come straight out of the theater, and we'll change our minds like as it processes, and I love that aspect of cinema. But with this one, it was just almost like an immediate. You know what? Like, damn, a lot of the shots are really sticking out in this movie in my head, and I just can't forget them.
Yeah.
And some of them I would rather forget. But cue the fish and gelatin.
Oh, ew. Gross.
Squish, squish.
No.
Oh, but yeah, it's getting to that point in the night, guys. So, Wuthering Heights. Have you seen it? What did you think about it? Do you think it's too smutty? Is it not smutty enough? Have you read the source material, the original book? Do you think it stands true to it? Do you think it carries the same weight, the same spirit? Or do you think, wow, they did take one little sex spot out of this movie and then just turned it into the whole movie? I don't know. I can't vouch for any of it, but I definitely want to know it. So let us know all your takes on our tapes in those comments down below. And with that, Amory, I think that about does it.
You said squish squish. Let's wrap it.
All right, guys, thank you for joining us on this episode of Cassette Take. Don't forget to subscribe, like all the classic YouTube vernacular. It definitely helps us out, especially if you want to hear us laughing and enjoying life and cinema and being part of the conversation. Just hit that subscribe button. We love to have you here and join this little community we have going. But we hope you haven't ejected thus far into the podcast. But whether you have or haven't, please don't forget to rewind. I've been Ethan.
I'm Emery.
And squish, squish.